Hello everyone. Before I begin, let me ask you guys a quick question. Do you guys know what you are eating? Every day we go to places like the Big Onion, Roxy's, Pollock, Finley, so many choices at the Penn State campus. But do you actually know what the ingredients actually consist of? We always eat chicken tenders, but do you know it actually contains salt, flour, starch, so many more ingredients? And the reason why this is so important is because you gotta realize that some of these foods are actually genetically modified organisms. Now, GMOs, they're so vital to us because we are actually consuming a lot of these products without even realizing it. But some of you guys are looking at me like, what are GMOs? Well, first off, GMOs, they are genetically modified organisms that have altered DNA through genetic engineering. And the scientists realized that if we can alter the DNA of the organisms, then basically we can create healthier crops and basically make sure that they are bigger, stronger, and we can produce more of it. And also it will help us actually have it flourish during harsh winters. So this is really important because how do we get to the shift between the foods that we consumed in the past and the foods that we consume now? Well, you gotta realize something. The FDA actually approved of genetically modified organisms in 1994. And ever since then, there has been a total of 144 genetically modified organisms. Now, this is a huge number. And the reason why is because without you guys even knowing it, you should actually pay attention to the facts that we consume daily things out of that 144. For example, do you like corn? Okay. Do you like potatoes? And do you like free packaging food? Of course, me, I love Hungry Man, so I have like 3 or 4 boxes, during a week. But all these foods that I mentioned before, and these are only few examples, it's not even all of them. All these foods are actually genetically modified organisms. And this is such a problem compared to the past because in the past, there was no Subway, McDonald's, Domino's, Pizza Hut, KFC, Taco Bell. There were no big fast food chains as it is now. And that's why people weren't as aware as they were in the past because they didn't have to look out for the Big Macs or the Whoppers that comes with the menus. Instead, it was way more healthier options compared to the past compared to now. So now realizing this is where the shift is really significant because we don't have any awareness of the foods that we are eating. We just go off of, oh, it tastes good. I want more of that. Yeah, I want more of that. So instead, we are just over-consuming. And this is a problem because we stop taking things into moderation. We stop taking things into proportions. And from there, this is the way how companies make their money because now there are 70% of genetically modified organisms in the grocery stores that we shop in. And if it's dominating our markets, then of course we're going to keep on consuming it just because it just consists of it in the stores. So now this affects our health and our well-being. And this is why it's such a significant shift. Because if you realize what's going on, you actually pay attention to the evidence. For example, right, there has been a case study and it has been conducted on animals, don't worry, it wasn't on humans because that'll be unethical, but it was conducted on animals and a lady named Judy Carmen, basically what she realized was if we compare how the pigs consume genetically modified organisms compared to the pigs that actually eat healthier foods, then we can actually see if there have been any health problems available. So there has actually been 32% of pigs that has consumed genetically modified organisms that has stomach inflation. And I know it seems like a low number, but that's nearly 1/3 of all the pigs that have actually consumed these type of food. And to even think about it, we are consuming these foods too. And there also has been a lot of parallelism between animals and humans. So shouldn't we be kind of aware of these problems that are occurring? And also, there has been a huge increase, as you can tell, from the 1938 all the way to 2008, when an increase in food allergies. And now you guys wonder, like, how can you be allergic to certain foods? Well, that's the reason why genetically modified organisms are so potent. It's because these chemicals are actually not really good for our body. So once we're consuming all these chemicals, that's why it's changing the way how our body functions and how it actually goes throughout the day. And then that's how you become allergic to certain foods, just because of all the chemicals that's involved in it. And then also there's a parallelism in autism and type 2 diabetes. And if you want to be careful, and if you actually really care about your health, then you will actually realize that the only solution to this problem is if we label these GMOs. Because a lot of people are unaware. And it's one of those things that you should have a right to actually know what you guys are eating. It's not fair to us to actually consume foods that actually might be detrimental to our health. So overall, if you really care about your future, you will actually approve of this plan of actually passing labels for genetically modified organisms. There has been 91% of Americans that actually approve of this. It's just not happening. So we need to use our voice, and we need to all come together as a unit in order to make this happen. Thank you.